Hello, Tubbs. Since you did something about college, I decided to do something about high school. So, here we go, my top 10 things I've learned in high school so far, again, related to being in a wheelchair. Okay, number 1, use your IEP to your advantage. What I mean by this is, if your IEP says that you need to get out of your chair and rest during the day, do this. It's really great because sometimes you can miss out on those boring lectures during class. My second thing that I learned is demand your rights. Damn it. A good example of this is when I was a sophomore. The elevator at our high school was not up to code, and it was really crappy and old and small. And I wrote an article about it in the high school newspaper. And I was pretty upfront about it, and I was angry. And you know what? This year they have a new elevator. And it's nice, they can fit 2 chairs in it. So, don't be afraid. Demand those rights. 3. High school is a time of exploration. You should not let your disability get in the way of letting you explore things that you want to explore. Just make sure that you do a little bit of research beforehand to make sure that your body can handle these sort of things. I am, of course, not encouraging any sort of activity that might be questionable. However, if you choose these sorts of things, research beforehand. It's nice to have somebody who's older than you, who has your disease, to ask these sorts of questions to. 4. Discover new places in the lunchroom. Typically, people sit in the same place during lunch every day. I would recommend trying different tables and different things, sometimes sitting with new people. For example, I learned the other week that there's booths in our cafeteria that are made for people in wheelchairs because they have a cutout just for people like me. So I sat at one with my friend and it was fantastic. Number 5, make an active effort to meet friends and remain friends with the people that you already are friends with. Sometimes having a disability means that you have to work harder to keep these people in your life. I know it's not fair, but you just gotta do it. 6, you can get away with a lot more than you think. Then, again, this kind of goes back to the whole idea of using your IEP to your advantage. You really can, people feel bad for you, and if you're charming enough, then sometimes they'll let you do things, and that's nice. 7, find something school-related that you can be passionate about. You will have a much better high school experience, and you will be more successful. 8, sleep is good. Getting an adequate amount of sleep and rest should be your number 1 priority. More than getting a job, more than working, more than doing your homework, and more than hanging out with your friends. Obviously, all these things are important, but sleep is even more. Because if you don't get enough sleep, you could get sick, and that's not good. 9, watch a show about high school kids in the 80s. My good example of this is Freaks and Geeks, which is amazing and is on Netflix. Pick your favorite character, and then try to be like them. And my last piece of advice, or the last thing I have learned in high school, is that you can be sexy, regardless of whether or not you have a disability. Just have a bunch of confidence and try to be friendly. Tubbs, until next time, toodles.